for you about somebody who is in a relationship with a person that has made things a little bit more difficult than they need to be. We've got the unhealthy relationship patterns or the toxic card. And I do feel like this has to do with some sort of lack of communication or inability to be honest in situations. But we also have the Better Now card, which is saying that there are wounds that are being healed within the relationship. So it really feels like there is a genuine attempt or a commitment to make change lasting in this relationship, because this is someone who doesn't want to lose their relationship. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Hannah. If you are interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box in case I said that too fast, as is more information on how to become a member or how to become an owner of one of my candles. Hello, Joaquin. Hello, Matt. How are we doing? Oh, you got the flippy flappies? It's not that hot here. It was actually kind of rainy today, so it's a tennis shoe kind of day. What are we gonna start with, y'all? We're gonna go with the Pause Tarot because I feel like it. What else do we have? Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands in the reverse, and the King of Pentacles in the reverse. There's love here. There's no question about whether or not we have someone who really does care deeply about the person they're in a relationship with. The issue that we have is I do think we have some instability due to insecurity. And with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, perhaps also financial insecurity. And I feel like communication pertaining to those two issues has been kind of like the main issue, right? Main problem. Hierophant in the reverse. Page of Cups. Nine of Cups in the reverse. We have someone who's saying, I'm sorry that I haven't done right by you. I'm sorry that I haven't been the kind of partner that you deserve. I know that you deserve an apology and also changed behavior. This is someone who wants to demonstrate for you that they appreciate the importance of the relationship and the need for them to change their behavior. They're going to full on admit, I have been selfish. I think this is a departure from their normal behavior. Normally, I think they would like to just avoid any accountability. Hello, Nat Nat. How are you doing? Gather the Cobra chickens. Hello, Colleen. How are you doing today? We have the World in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse. I know you thought that I was just going to disappoint you. I know you thought that I was going to repeat the same behavior, or maybe even that I was incapable of change. I don't know if they're saying this, but they're thinking this. But it's like, whoever we're dealing with, you tell them they can't do something, they're gonna do it. It's not necessarily like rule breaking. It's about, what am I capable of doing? If you tell me that I can't quit drinking or eating fast food or whatever, this is the kind of person who'll be like, bet. Well, now I'm going to do it because you told me that I can't. Which you have to be careful with, because that's how there's really no good way to say that. That's how I ended up walking/running up 33 flights of stairs just to prove someone wrong, and then back down. It hurt, you guys. But I did it. Hello, April. How's it going? This is someone who's like, okay, I know you think I can't do it. I know you think I'm not going to work on those things. I know I've disappointed you in the past, but I can't imagine losing you. This is someone who's dealt with some emotional issues or some trauma, and maybe not in the most healthy of ways. Hello, Flower. How are you doing today? Thank you for the tip. What was the energy I felt Sunday night? It felt protecting. What the hell happened? What was the lesson that I have yet to learn? With Thomas. And what is the lesson with Samuel? Oh, you're so welcome. I've added that for you. And let's see, we're 6.5 minutes in, so forgive me for making you wait a little bit, but as long as you have some cheese, I know you'll be okay. Hey Arnav, this is not the venue for sharing these kinds of things, but you are welcome to sit down, get comfortable, and enjoy the live chat with, more like regular stuff. You can tell me your favorite cheese, for example. Hello, Sea Dog. What's going on? Hello, Ruben. Hello, Tom. Uh-huh. Of course you are. There's like big cheese. You're the queen cheese. Hello. What's up, Shake Love? Of course it's possible. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, unless that's a question, but I hope you're having a good day no matter what, King Solomon. Hey, sorry, hon, we're not going to do the politics in the live chat. You're welcome to talk about other stuff, maybe like uplifting stuff. Maybe you got like a good Chuck Norris joke. Totally down for that. Hello, Mark. How's it going? So look, we've got someone who feels like they were dishonest with somebody that deserved honesty, that they want this emotional closeness, even though they've been scared of it or ran from it. Seems like they're basically challenging themselves to be honest, admit their faults, outline what they could do differently. Feels like they want to do it differently. This is someone who struggled with mother wounds or issues in terms of how to express emotions, meaning they probably grew up around people that made them feel like they had to suppress their emotions. They have to unlearn those things. Three of Pentacles in the reverse, Death in the reverse. This is someone who, it's almost like I don't want to blame them for being selfish, because this is a person who was taught to basically, you're on your own, you have to do whatever you need for yourself and don't trust other people. This Empress in the reverse makes me think of the mother in White Oleander. I don't know if I can recall her name. I know the daughter's name is Astrid. Was it Ingrid, maybe? I don't know. It was Michelle Pfeiffer's character. But there was probably some narcissism there, and also a pretty consistent message. You cannot trust anybody. Do not trust anybody but yourself. You are on your own. And I think that's what this person was raised to believe. So being in a healthy relationship might have been quite the challenge for them when you were hoping to build a trusting relationship. You wanted them to be able to trust you, and you also wanted to be able to trust them. And that might have been challenging. The World. Six of Cups in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. We already had the King of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be someone who grew up without a father, or it's like they moved from town to town. So as far as having a stable home life, there would have been a lot of change or a lot of like revolving door, either because they were moving or because the parent or the family members, there was a lack of consistency with that, right? Oh, be kinder to yourself, King Solomon. Hello. I'm just gonna call you 00. Yeah. Hello, Naz. How are you doing? Nope, I'm just from Minneapolis. So I have that accent. We've got someone who feels like maybe they can address the problems in your relationship if they're willing to first address the problems from their childhood or how they learned to connect to other people. I do think this could be, you know, purchasing self-help books or finding a therapist that they feel would enable them to approach relationships in a more healthy way. But they feel like there's an expert that can help them, or they're already working with an expert. I'm not seeing justice as a decision. I'm seeing it as a person who is empowering them to make better decisions. So it could be, you know, an online coach, you know, life coach type thing. It could just be, you know, they found a therapist that they finally feel like they can be honest with. But there's empowerment here pertaining to their healing. Knight of Pentacles, Five of Swords in the reverse, and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm so proud of this person. What are we going to call you? I think we'll call them the King of Cups. Remember, that doesn't mean that they have to be a man, but the King of Cups, it's in the reverse. Kind of speaks to the emotional difficulties this person has gone through or experienced and how that led to the Queen of Wands in the reverse, which is some insecurity, right? Maybe not necessarily believing that they're deserving of love or a type of love. So the Five of Swords is in the reverse because this is someone who wants to not only make amends with you, make things right with you, make sure that you can build that trust, but it's also because they are letting go of something from their past, forgiving someone, maybe even having a conversation with a family member. They're acknowledging what has blocked them in the past. Oh, I hope that goes well for you, Rachel. I'm just going to remove that because I think YouTube is sensitive to those words, so please be cautious with that. And I do hope you have some protective energy around you. Hello, Heart. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. There was codependent energy between a family member and the King of Cups. At once saying you can only rely on yourself, but also trying to make it seem like everything that they said was, you know, gospel. Much like that mother figure in White Oleander. Ace of Wands in the reverse is, I think, a lack of motivation. It's like, I know that there are things that I could do or pursue in my life, but I feel like this King of Cups was basically taught to fear a lot of things that they should not have, or maybe they just felt like socially awkward, so they didn't feel a part of the community. but there's this otherness, you know, believing that they're very different from other people, that made them feel people would not really love them, or that they would not really ever experience true friendship. So we have the Chariot in the reverse, and I feel like this is someone who felt like things were always very temporary. Like, I'm not going to get used to you being my friend, or I'm not going to, you know, believe that you might be in a relationship with me long term, because everyone gives up on me eventually. Six of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles. Rejuvenation in the reverse, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. So the insecurity and the, you know, like always assuming the worst or expecting people to dislike them or abandon them. There's something that stops that from continuing or growing, or makes this King of Cups challenge that concept. And I feel like it's this idea of a long-term relationship with you. It brings them to a point where they feel like they need to look for an expert, like that justice individual, to make sure that they feel more empowered regarding these things. Thank you, Flower. Any advice from spirit guides or grandpa? And general current situation and hardship. Sorry, I feel like I'm taking forever. And anything they need to say. Awesome, I've added that for you. And I think we need one more from this tarot deck. Hello, spiritual healer. Hello, Luke. How are you doing? The Hanged Man in the reverse. So whatever has been holding back this King of Cups, the connection they do feel for or with you has motivated them to seek out some change, because they realize that they don't want this to end. They don't want to argue. So they've been looking within to see what they could do to change or improve the situation. And that led them to this like self-help guru or this therapist, whoever is giving them advice and helping them to build their confidence. Thank you, Nat Nat. I got you. No worries, Flower. If I remember to, I'll try to post the little, like, what am I trying to think? Timestamp for the personal questions. If I can remember. But it's usually about 35 minutes. It's getting more difficult for me to start them at 30 minutes in. That's correct. No shame in needing help. That's funny, Flower. All right, what else do we have? We've got the Five of Swords. A pattern of self-sabotage. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Fear of rejection, feeling like there is a lack of value in what they have to offer. A lack of motivation. I think this person was going through depression or had been depressed for a while, and in large part because someone just kind of like I'm trying to think. Okay, so if life is a radio and the frequency of love was removed or blocked for this person by the Empress in the reverse, likely a mother figure, there's anger and resentment that's built up for this King of Cups, basically feeling like I've gone through my life and I felt like I missed out on all of these things because of what you taught me, because of how you told me I needed to view other people, and because you never really showed me the love that I should have been given as your child or as the person that you care about, right? So, like, where was that love? And if I didn't get that love, how am I supposed to know how to give that love to other people? I feel like this is the King of Cups finally having the opportunity to have that outlet and figure it out, you know? Queen of Wands, increase in confidence. And the High Priestess, wisdom. Sorry, there's like a hair somewhere. The High Priestess is the expert. This is who came out as Justice before. This High Priestess is like incredibly helpful in the journey of healing for this King of Cups, helping the King of Cups to recognize that there are things they need to look at differently or let go of, forgive, so that they don't have to abandon this relationship or lose this love. The Wheel, change. Three of Cups in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles. So if this was someone who didn't know how to express their love or how to communicate their emotions because the connections with other people was just kind of like a mystery to them, now they feel like they're better equipped to actually pursue those things because they let go of the instability from their past, because they don't expect things to repeat from that childhood experience, or that maybe it was like a really early on relationship that was toxic. Hello, what's up, Galaxy King? I can't help it. I laugh every time I see your name because I remember what I thought it was initially. For those of you that would like to make fun of me, I saw his username and thought it was Midwest Galaxy King. Maybe that's not as funny if you're not like thinking Milky Way, but like I feel like that's pretty basic. Hello, what's up, the Great Toad? Oh, we did this before. The Great One. How are you doing? Hello, PSR. She's not telling you every detail of her life? I don't think anyone tells anyone every detail of their life. Do they? Anyone? Maybe like oversharers on like social media, sure. And then I told them that they put too much milk in my latte. I don't even know if milk goes in latte, you guys. But you know, like there's definitely overshares. Sorry, let's get back to the reading here. We got like serious relationship, like golden retriever energy coming through from a person who was previously toxic because they didn't know how to communicate their emotions. They didn't have a strong emotional role model when they were younger. Emotional in a good way, right? How do you process your emotions? How do you let go of things? How do you forgive people? How do you communicate when you're upset? You know, can you do it without throwing things across the room? Ideally. Wow, I'm so impressed. The highest of fives to this King of Cups. So we had the King of Pentacles in the reverse. We had the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We have the Queen of Wands coming in the upright, and we also have the King of Pentacles in the upright. To me, this is saying what was blocking you, the reason you were in the reverse, the reason you were not embodying that energy of stability and confidence. They're addressing those things. They're in the upright because it's like, no, no, I get it now. I realized that those were things I needed to understand differently, and I needed to rewrite how I approach things in my own way and not, you know, mimic or take after that toxic example I got in my childhood. Tickle the like. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Mac. How are you doing? What else do we have? We have the Six of Pentacles. I love this one. I don't know why. It just like makes me want to like stand up and make the same pose because it's so silly. But I would probably need shoulder pads, don't you think? If I really wanted to do it right. Just get me some shirts from the 80s. Some blazers. Yes. So the Six of Pentacles. This is someone who wants to approach things as like partners. I don't want you doing all the heavy lifting of the relationship. I don't want you to feel like you have to apologize all the time. I don't want you to feel like you have to like get me to talk about things. Maybe I could just like tell you the truth as it's happening or how I'm feeling it when I'm feeling it. So they have a change in perspective. They want you in their inner circle for real this time. Not just like, I'll tell you when I'm upset because, you know, I don't have any clean laundry, but you don't get to know about the, like, real stuff. Now they're like, I get it now. If I want to be in this romantic connection, I have to be willing to treat you better. Treat myself better so that I can treat you better. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Let's go with the Voyage of the Soul, because it definitely seems like we got someone going through Dark Night of the Soul or spiritual awakening. PSR, I do personal questions in about 5 minutes with prioritization to those who tip or donate. You can donate a membership, by the way. Yes, Vic, that's true. No, let's not talk about politics, please. That is a rule for my live chat. This is a politics-free zone. Hello, IDK, what's up? No, thank you. But if you want to send that $20, I'll tell you what the next week is going to be like for you. Or I'll tell you about whether or not that one person also thinks about you without clothes on. What do you say? I think that's way cooler than me just like holding my breath, right? Hello, Mohammed. Thank you. I love how you all send positive energy to yourself or to others that are going through things. It really does. It makes me happy. Hello, Mohammed. PSR, intuition would be the short answer. So look, we've got energy, life force, chakras, Reiki, intangible, subtle, and crystals. So this is someone who has understood that they've carried negative energy around with them, probably that resentment from childhood, and that if they let that go, they could approach the relationship with you in a better way because they're letting go of the person who had caused trouble in their childhood. Probably a mother, doesn't have to be. They feel like the two of you are meant to be. You're the person who's the catalyst or the inspiration for them to work on something that has kind of terrified them in a long time, or for a long time. But losing you is a little bit more terrifying. Limitless, expand, spread, higher, open-minded, and wishes. You are their dream come true, therefore they are willing to walk through a nightmare in order to heal and approach things with you in a better way. So we have Vessel, Body, nourishment, wholesome, nutrition, and health. They're feeling better than they have in a really long time. Dreams, lucid, subconscious, prophecy, patterns, answers, and journal. They may start journaling, or they may be a little bit more avid a reader. This is someone who's looking and seeking out connection as opposed to running away from it or fearing it. I am originally from Minnesota, but I'm in Tennessee. Yes. Those things can be so difficult to process, especially when you feel like you're alone in that situation. And I think that's how this person felt. I'm going to pull a few from the Love Oracle, and then we're diving into those personal questions, okay? Yes, good idea. What else? Emotional storm and withdrawn. They felt alone, or like nobody would really understand them because they never really dealt with this emotional turmoil, the instability of their past. They probably felt like you would just run away if they actually told you all of the things that they had dealt with. Escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. They did this most of their life, and as a result, they weren't able to like acclimate to how other people approach love, or those who do it in a healthy way. But because they have an appreciation for the cause and effect, the fact that they caused problems in your relationship, they've also taken responsibility for that, and they're working on a reconciliation that is based on changed behavior and a genuine apology. No empty promises here. This is someone who's actually doing the work. High five. All right, let's get to flowers questions. Did I already use that? I don't think I did. Okay. This might be my new favorite because the art is so beautiful. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. Likewise. All right. Oh, yay! Queen Cheese is here. All right. What was the energy that Flower felt on Sunday night? So this feels to me like a more masculine energy. With the 10 of Skins or 10 of Wands, we have somebody who feels like you've been going through too much. Someone who feels like you have too much stress, more than you deserve. This is someone who wants you to see things more clearly. The 8 of Dreams would be the 8 of Swords. And there's something here that you're missing. Notice that it's like her eyes are shut. This person is trying to help you see something. Yes, it's protective, but it's like you're missing something. They want you to be this hermit energy, so it's like they're trying to get you to follow something they know. It's like Lassie leading the sheriff to the kid who's lost, you know? Someone's trying to guide you to information. 7 of Songs, which is the 7 of Cups, the Tower, and Temperance. The information has to deal with a situation that seems worse than it actually is. I feel like this person's trying to say, you're looking at it as everything's over, or this is horrible, or I can't fix this. But there is something that you can do to change this or improve the situation. So can we confirm that it's a protective energy? I think we got, yeah, it is. Two of Dreams, which is the Two of Swords. This is someone, look at, we got eyeballs on the hand, right? Because your eyes are not working. Because you're missing something. They're your eyes right now, and they're trying to be like, right here. This. So what happened? Eight of Wands, Nine of Honey. Well, it's Eight of Skins, Nine of Honey, which is the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But I feel like you're giving someone the benefit of the doubt. So there's going to be a repeat. Somebody lies again, or somebody does the same disrespectful thing. I gotta cover the boobies. Yeah, there's someone who, it's like things aren't going to be as bad as you expect, but there is someone who is repeating behavior. Maybe you're the one who's repeating the behavior. Five of Songs or the Five of Cups. I don't even know where to look on this card. There's so much going on. And Strength in the reverse. Okay, here's what I think. I think this is protective energy that wants you to trust your intuition on what you read off of other people and whether or not you should connect with them. But there's also something about yourself that you are missing. Something that you feel is not strong, something that you consider weak, and you're wrong. You're overly harsh on yourself. We are all our own worst critic. The more you accept that, the more likely you can be a little bit more forgiving to yourself in that situation, right? Yes, thank you. Strength is in the reverse because there's something here that I think you expect to have a greater toll or be a bigger issue for you than it really is. So this person who's protective of you, they're trying to remind you of your own strength, that you can handle this, and you're just like maybe talking it up into a bigger problem. Okay, and what about the lesson that Flower needs to learn with regards to Thomas? Six of Dreams. Okay. So the Six of Dreams is the Six of Swords. But I'm making the weird faces because of whatever's on the hands there. And the Ten of Songs or the Ten of Cups in the reverse. I think the lesson to be learned with regards to Thomas is basically that there is a need for you to have some time on your own. Better boundaries. Trust your intuition quicker. I feel like you get, like, I don't know, a little glimpse of how things might be with a person, or you might see someone's true character and then you're like, nah, I'm sure they're better than that. You're not giving yourself credit. I'm not saying everybody is a jerk, but you gotta trust that instinct. So Thomas is meant to underscore for you that you need to trust your intuition and your discernment regarding other people earlier in the game. And what about with Samuel? Queen of Honey, which is the Queen of Pentacles. I love the like smirk that she's got on her face. And then we've got the King of Skins or King of Wands in the reverse. Is this about anger? The King of Wands being in the reverse is an indication that there is some anger or resentment. Now, this could be on your side, or it could be you knew that Samuel was still carrying some resentment or holding a grudge with something else. But this Queen of Honey or Queen of Pentacles, I feel like this is saying you offer to calm situations down for people who should be capable of self-soothing. You don't have to be the person who fixes everything. You don't have to be the one who says it's going to be okay. I'm not telling you to be cold or unfeeling in relationships. I just feel like this is more so saying if someone is the cause of their own grief or they ruined things for themselves, don't feel like you have to tell them like they're there, everything's fine. You know? Okay, so we've got any advice from guides or grandpa. Three of Songs, which is the Three of Cups. The King of Dreams or King of Swords in the reverse. And the Two of Honey or the Two of Pentacles. Ooh, let me write that down real quick. We've got Lana. Thank you for the tip. Love reading. I got you. So Flower, it looks to me like there is advice here with regards to stability. The important advice seems to be you might need to reconsider who is in your inner circle. I feel like this is more so friendship rather than the love side of things, because we already know about that, right? So I don't know if there's someone here who you talk to, consider a good friend, who's really not a good friend, but it feels like your guides are saying, I think there's someone who needs to be shown the door. I think there's someone that you know is not really your friend. And what about the current situation? What does Flower need to know? Aw. The King of Pentacles or the King of Honey? Isn't that just like... That's a lot of hair. It's like part man, part lion. There's some unexpected financial help coming your way. So do your best to have a positive mindset. Be frugal or make, you know, reserved or kind of limited plans for your budget. But there's help coming. After a loss. Does it correct it? It's not going to fix everything that's happened or everything that you've lost, but it is going to be helpful. But you also might have to like open your mail to make sure that you get it. I don't know. It feels to me like there's a chance that you just like dismiss this as not really important. But if you like read the body, then you're like, oh, you want to give me money? Sure, give me money. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to... Flower, love you, girl. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember how amazing you are. And you do have that protective energy around you. So I love that for you. Thank you for your patience, Nat Nats. Let's see what we've got for you for a random reading. The Star and the Sun in the reverse. The Tower in the reverse. Oops, that's not yours. That's a different one. And the Queen of Cups. So, Nat, we've got some healing happening for you in a blind spot of yours. So, I feel like you've made a lot of progress with regards to what has blocked you in the past or made things more difficult. It's like, I feel like I can move easier. I think there's something that you're able to avoid because you trust your intuition and your discernment more closely or better. I think you're about to meet someone pretty significant, and you may have initially discounted this person, or like 5 years ago, you would have been like, no. Because you were looking for or like prioritizing different things. This could be friendship. You would have normally walked away from this or not been interested, but you see things differently now. So there's something here that it's like you think about it and you're like, actually, I think that's a good thing. I do feel like the number 4 is important, so I think this could be for April. But this is someone who looks at you as like marriage material or like best friend material. Take it however it goes for you. But I think this is love. Or at least a flirtation. But initially you're kind of like, I don't know. You talk a little bit more and things seem to be a little bit more. That's a divine counterpart. You came out as the Queen of Cups. This person's the King of Cups. We have the Hermit and the Page of Wands in the reverse. This person says something that irritates you, but it's not enough to like completely write them off. They might have a bad sense of humor, or they might disagree with you in terms of like who the best baseball team of all time is. I don't know. Give them a chance. They'll say something better the next time around. Okay, let's see what we've got for Lana. I don't know if I'm supposed to say Lana because it was banana and I want to make it rhyme, you know? But let's see what we've got for you in the Department of Romance, shall we? I feel that. That would be a great t-shirt. All right, what do we have for Lana or Lana Banana, whichever one it is, for love, please? Nine of Swords in the reverse. High Priestess in the reverse, and Temperance. I feel like this is someone who comes to your rescue. Now, maybe this isn't like a flat tire situation and they know how to change your tire. Maybe it's more so, you know, the elevator button isn't working. Or your vending machine candy is stuck in the vending machine and they like tap it and get your Snickers to fall. This is somebody who like shows up at the right time and makes something easier for you. I don't know, maybe if you're not super tall like me, if you've ever had to ask somebody to get something off the top shelf in the grocery store, it's like, I can sit here and jump, but then I'm gonna knock everything else off the shelf. King of Cups and the Tower, that's funny. Yeah, so there's something that's not going well. You're like, ah. And then they show up and they're like, I'm sorry, do you need directions? Do you need a hand? Or like one of those dinosaur grabby things? I got one in my back pocket right here. So this person's sweet and offers to help you with a situation that's, you know, mildly irritating. King of Swords in the reverse. Why King of Swords? Chariot. Ten of Cups. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so this person is charming. This person is going to be flirtatious. But I feel like they rush through things. Is this someone who struggles to do like the long-term thing? No. They can do the long-term relationship. They might already be talking to someone when they meet you. They might want to rush things with you, but not necessarily do the right thing as far as, like, they might be ghosting somebody else when they get to know you. Like, oh, you're better, so I'm just gonna, like, not tell this person what happened. That might be a problem for you. What about, like, emotional? Okay, so the lesson here is this person's very charming. This person might, like, sweep you off your feet. They're going to make you feel special. But then there's something here, and I do think it has to do with ghosting another person. Maybe they casually reference to it or admit it, but I think it kind of takes the wind out of the sails for you, and you're like, just depends on how you feel about ghosting, but also if that person is going to try to, like, reconnect, it might get kind of awkward. So just a little heads up that they might not be the best at communicating when things are no longer of interest to them. And I feel like that's an important mark of, like, being an adult. Sorry if I'm judging anybody out there. I think it's important to be clear on the definition of ghosting, because if you said your piece and they just want to keep talking to you, like, that's different. But I think there's a way to respectfully communicate about what's not working, instead of just like, 1 second I'm here, 1 second I'm not. I'm not gonna tell you. Hello, Adam. How are you doing? How's the UK? Hello, Grindhard. Hello, Dino. Hello, Steven. What's up? I like that. No, thank you, Mohammed. I am not looking to date people. That's not what I'm here for. Although I have said that it's a total, like, major goal of mine to have 2 of you get married. So if y'all could get, like, work that out, fall in love already, and then, you know, send me the invite. We could make it, like, a live, you know? That would be fun. I think people would want to see it. All right, I'm going to leave it there, y'all. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for checking out the candles, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.